He said he just rolled it down the hill. Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon RC here. So we're gonna do something a little bit different this week. I've got my stepson's truck here that is been through the ringer. So the story with this deal is I built it for my older step boy. Used the F-250 front, built a cage for the back, the whole deal. So the younger stepson got a hold of it and ran it and rolled down a hill, supposedly. I don't know. We'll see. So broke the cage. It's broken a couple of places here, and we don't have big hills around here, mind you, so just keep that in mind. Broke the bumper, which it was on its way out anyway, the way I cut it to make it fit. This is one of my blend bumpers from the TRX4 Sport, so I made it fit on this truck anyway. So I figured it was time, perfect candidate to get a upgrade, and the upgrade we're going to use is the 10.2 axle mount servo to get rid of this. I've always had trouble with this truck for some odd reason. In the way it's flexed, it just seemed odd, so we're going to go with this more solid steering setup. This should help tremendously. Also, we're going to put a Phat axle in the front of it as well, because I'll show you why in this one. But this is basically going to be a video to show you how to install this particular setup, not necessarily anything else on the truck. We're really going to talk about putting this on there because this is new and I want everybody to see how it's done. We may figure out a way to do a battery tray as well, because this I don't think is going to work, but we'll see. We're going to test it. So we'll see, and I'm going to move around here to the side and show you what I'm going to be doing, but just wanted to try something a little bit different here as far as the build goes. There's not necessarily any building. We're just going to be upgrading, so to speak. So just hang tight and I'll be back in just a second. All right, so the first thing we got to do on here is remove the wheels and tires. I've already loosened them a little bit here to get them kind of ready. The wheels were a pain to get off. Yeah, see, the hex is stuck in there, so that's not good. But we'll worry about that later. Yeah, that one too, so figures. So this is the problem with these plastic housings. See how the C-hub turns? It twists. So when you go to turn, it just messes everything up. So that's one of the biggest problems with this axle that I've always had problems with that on this particular axle. Ever since I've had this truck. This was a 10.2 RTR from, I did a trade with a guy a couple years ago and got it. So that's what happens. So now you take, so with this boom kit, you're going to take you're going to have to, let's move this out of the way so you can see. So you're going to take this kit, this part here that comes in the kit. You're going to have to figure out which one, which I think you just matched this one. So it's got what they call a sideways, which is this one that knurls that way. It's going to go here, which is where the other one goes. And then it's going to have what they call a upwards, which as you see, this one here has already, the ball just fell out of it, because that's part of the problems on these things. So you're going to take an upwards one, you're going to match it just the same as you do this one here, which isn't hard to do anyway. So we'll take my drill, take my 2mm wrench, wherever it is, put the rod end through here, take your set screw that comes in the kit and just drill it in. Boom, done. Simple as that. So that's an upwards one, or that's what they call sideways. Then we take an upwards one and drill it in there as well. Now, that's easy to do on this one because this one has set up like this. These are not that easy to do as far as drilling them in there. So we're going to take that and just screw it in. Then when you get it together like this, you want to figure out the best way to, you want to make sure it's right, because see, it wants to be about like that. So you'll tighten it down, it's even. So that one's going to go there, and this one is going to line up with that one. So this one you have to figure out which screw is in this kit. It's going to go through this hole, which I'm thinking it's probably going to be this one. Nope, it is not. It's not that one, it's gonna be this one. So it's gonna be this long one here. Going to go through the hole here, yes. And then you'll have a nut. It comes with all this hardware. This kit, this boom kit does come with all this hardware. So keep that in mind. Get my fingers in here somehow. There we go. So that's what you do on that. You get your little 5 mil there, put it there, move those out the way. See, then you're good to go there. So now we're gonna take this one off of here. Get your shot pliers that you have, find you, put it on the 4 mil spot there and just unscrew it. And if you haven't bought a kit from me, you know where to buy one. You got plenty of them. Now on this, I do something a little bit differently. So a stock rod end has no, or not a stock rod end, but a boom rod end has no threads inside of it. So what I do is actually take it and find, not everybody can do this, I understand this, but I have a tool to do it. If I can find it, it's somewhere in here. It's a 10 by 32 tap. Find it and put it in your drill. I'll take it and I'll do that. That's how I do. So you take your, same way you do when you put the set screw in it, take it, drill it a little bit there. Oh, didn't work the way I wanted it to. Well. So you drill threads. Now these ain't perfect threads as far as 4 mil goes, but it will make it where it is so much easier to screw this thing in here. See, it almost goes directly on there, which is nice considering it's a pain any other way. Now, I'm not using any kind of marks here, but I can see where the dirt was from the final one, so boom. Make sure, kind of get it, you kind of can eyeball it and see if it's lined up perfect with the other one. That one needs to be changed. All these need to be changed in my kit anyway, but it'll be fine. We'll do that later. I'm not worried about that right now. So I'm going to take this servo off first because it's one of the components we're going to keep. We are going to reuse this servo. There's nothing wrong with the servo, so I'm going to reuse it. So. All right, so we got that there. We'll move that out the way. So let's talk about this. So straight up and down, you see the problem. You see how this one is turned in and it doesn't have its clocking like it should. So the stuff we're going to reuse, of course, it has some aluminum knuckles on it. We're going to reuse those. We are going to add the Integi billet machine C-hubs on these Phat axles. We're going to swap over the diff into this and the axle shafts themselves, bearings as well, because I have all that stuff sitting around. So now we'll take this off of here. Same way, we'll just put it in there. I did grease these not that long ago, so that's not going to work. You got to put the pinion in first. Guess I'm going to reuse a couple of bearings because why not? There ain't nothing wrong with them. They look okay, they spin okay. So, ooh, I forgot about that. The boom one is tight. So, That's the biggest problem is that bearing right there. It's really tight to get into the housing, but ain't nothing a dead blow won't fix. Boom, done. In there, in like flint. So good to go. That spins. Put that in there. Good to go. Spins pretty smooth. I'm gonna throw a little bit of grease in here because why not? Good to go. So we'll do that, and then we'll put that back on. All right, so we got these screws in here. Find the other screws that are in the box, because there is a box full of goodies that come with that axle housing. All right, so I went and grabbed me some bearings. Of course, they're going to do the same thing as that pinion bearing did. The problem with this is these housings are metal and they're kind of tight. Well, that one went right in. Let's try this one. It's going to be a pain. Let's see. Boom, done. So it's that simple. So now we'll get our Integi C-hubs. So the idea I've always been told is there is a type of caster you want to have here. I think it's going to be kind of towards the back. Ooh, this thing is going to be tight to go on there. I don't know why that is. Metal on metal, probably. So let that one to go on there. That one went right on. So no problems there. All right, so I'm gonna sped that up a little bit. I don't want you to waste your time watching me put an axle together. So here's the axle put together. Spins good, spins nice and free, like I expected anyway. So now's the tough part to figure out what you want to do on this part of it here. We got these boom. I don't really know what I want to do here as far as this goes. Put this in here. I'll do this by hand first. So put this side on here. It's got this nice, pretty bent link, which is nice to have. So we'll put this one in this side here. Now, I'm assuming this part's going to go on the steering link because it's got the bent, so it'll go like that, and then you'll have a straight one that goes to the horn itself. But we're going to test it. I don't know for sure. I don't think I'm going to have anything long enough to even. I don't want to reuse the stock one. The threads there, so let's try something else. I should have some long ones in his pack somewhere. Come on, there we go. I got this longer one here. Let's try that one and see what it does. That's gonna be way too long there. So let me find something that's a little bit on the, still long, but not that crazy long. I don't really have anything. Just throw the long one on there then. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I'll find something else, something that'll fit better in a different time. So I think we're going to be good here though. I may need to adjust the rod ends a little bit to give a little bit more toe. This side's going to be in a little bit. So now comes the fun part, because we got to figure out what to do with all this here. I don't feel like it's going to work. I don't feel like what we've got now is going to fit, meaning I don't think it's going to work. So we're going to do this first here. These are That's going to be in the way. So we'll put the upper links in first because they're going to be the toughest ones to maneuver. Yeah, maybe not. It went right in there. That one just falls right through. Biggest thing will be finding this bolt that goes all the way through. Too far there. So we got that. You put the nut on this thing here. Get a little. So there's that there. Should help with that. I know these janky rod ends are in here, but for now they'll work. They'll be okay. Dude, this rod end, this ball in this rod end doesn't even move. There it goes. You couldn't even move it to get it in the, try to maneuver it into the spot here. That's no good. That's not what you want. It goes to show you how bad these rod ends are. So I guess they've made them better with the 10.3 is going to have better rod ends, I would assume. I think they went with the Capra style rod end, which that's a decent rod end, I think. I can't really tell that there's anything wrong with them, so to speak. So, well, that didn't work. Just made it worse. There we go. I got it to move the way I wanted it to there. So, well, this will pretty much show you that we don't have a shock on this yet, but if you put the shock where it's supposed to go stock, let's just put one on and I'll show you your clearance issues you're going to run into. Hey, stop. Stop. That does not be played with outside. All right, so now I'm going to drill this in here real quick. I'm going to show you pretty much about your clearance issues. So you'll hit no, see how it's going to hit. It's going to hit the battery tray there. It's going to sit about right there anyway. That's not going to work. So we know that's not going to work. We got to pull all this stuff apart. So I'm going to take this back off and hope I can come up with some kind of solution for a battery tray. I got a couple of thoughts in my head, but I don't really have anything completely nailed down. Figure out how that needs to come out. So we'll pull these apart. Boom. See if I forgot that screwed in there. Oh, in the bottom. Ah, that's right. Another one right there. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. So that you take this out, the steering servo mount and the battery tray, move it aside. There's no reason to have it. So I'll do that there. Go to tighten these down. Get 2 more screws, bolts. So I did all that and forgot to put the drive shaft back in. So I have to do that. That won't be too bad though. I know I'm not talking a lot, guys. I'm just trying to get this done without losing all this. There we go. All right, so that's mounted up. So you see how you would have no, I mean, depending on where you're at with your battery tray, you're not going to have any room for any kind of thing anyway. So that comes to my next point. I was going to try and use one of these. This is that front mount thing. I don't think it's going to work even still. I can make it work. I don't think so though. So you just put it in. I don't know exactly where it goes. I think this is where it goes though. I think it goes more here in the front than anywhere else because I don't think it fits. Yeah, that's probably where it fits there. So you're still going to have problems with how it's going to fit. Yeah, see, that's going to be, it's going to sit on this when at regular height, which that's about normal height with this thing anyway. So I don't think that's going to work. So I have to come up with some other kind of way here. I'll be back. All right, so I've installed everything back the way it goes. I do not have an answer for a battery tray just yet, so I'm going to end it here because I don't really have an answer for you as far as what's going to work. But in this case, the way I've got everything set up, I could probably use a different this servo probably needs to go in some more, but there's not really a way to do that right at this moment with this particular axle. But that still gets pretty good turn radius. I mean, that's not going to be useful anyway. So, but you see how if you had the stock battery tray in there, you could only go about, I mean, maybe like 6 millimeters. If you want to get full compression, you've got to figure out some other kind of option. Looking at probably going to put, we're going to just go down to running little small batteries and put them over here. So I just got to figure that out. But I'm going to end it here because I don't want this to be super, super long as far as just doing this. Hour is already long enough just watching me build an axle, which I'm probably going to skip through that anyway. So, so there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. This is pretty cool. This is a nice little kit. Now, granted, there is some mod work needing to be done. You got to figure out a way to do a battery tray. But if you already have that kind of lined up as far as here, or running one across here, like them old axial style ones, or the old SCX10 ones like this. This is for another project, but they used to run them across the way here, which of course that's way too big for this particular setup, but that's the general idea behind it. The other thought was to cut this up and shove it here, so you got a strap. I don't know, I'll figure something out, but that's where I wanted to be at. Anyway, I wanted to show you how this installed on a truck and how it fit. So let's get that up here so you can see it. You can see how it's just, I mean, it's a solid mount. It mounts directly to this housing like it should. If you saw my video earlier today, you saw this out of the package anyway. So that's how it goes. So we still got a lot more work to do on this thing. I got to figure out a way I'm gonna fix the cage that the boy broke, and then do some other kind of bumper setup for it. So keep an eye out. We'll keep updating this thing. Just call this the update series, I guess. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.